What's up guys, Christopher Crisis Point, and welcome back to the channel. And today we'll be taking a look at the Redmi 13C. Now for those of you who doesn't know, I started this channel about 3 years ago, and the Redmi 9C was one of the most viewed videos on the channel. Of course, at the time, the Redmi 9C played a major role because of the lockdowns. A lot of people were doing online classes, Zoom meetings and whatnot. But what about in 2024? How does the latest C-series smartphone from Redmi deliver in today's standards? So we're going to look into this review video not just as a reviewer, but also as a consumer. And because I bought this with my own money without this being sponsored by anyone in particular, it's time to get brutal. And with that said, let's do this. So first things first is the unboxing. Right off the bat, we can see that one of the most prominent features of the Redmi 13C is its display. This is rocking a 6.74-inch LCD panel. The Redmi 9C that was released 3 years ago was only at 6.53 inches. Inside we have a SIM ejector pin, the user guided manual, a Type-C cable for charging and data transfer, and the charging brick. Now I just reapplied the initial skin for the intended purpose of this video, but basically this is the key features of the Redmi 13C. But let me pause the video for a moment. What's missing? There is no pre-installed screen protector, there is no free case. We all know that it is a struggle to find a case for a new smartphone release, and for a budget smartphone that doesn't come with a flimsy screen protector or at least a flimsy jelly case is a major downer in my honest opinion. This is an affordable product, yet you don't get to have the essentials. I just want to point that out because again, this is an affordable smartphone. It doesn't have any crazy special features whatsoever, so at least provide the essentials to consumers. Now in terms of the actual design, I do appreciate what they did with the Redmi 13C. In contrast to the 9C that I did review years back, this to me is a major upgrade. The glossy back actually reminds me of the Poco X5 Pro, minus the Redmi branding that is. Towards the right we have the power button that is flanked with the volume rockers. Down at the bottom we have a primary microphone, a Type-C port for charging and data transfer, and the speaker grill. Towards the left we have a SIM card tray that houses 2 nano SIM cards and a dedicated slot for a micro SD. And up top we have a 3.5 headphone jack, which is great. What's not great is that it doesn't come with an IR blaster, which is an iconic feature for any Xiaomi smartphone. Around back we have a triple camera configuration with a 50 megapixel primary lens, a 2 megapixel macro lens, and we're not even going to talk about a third lens. That's just not really important at this point. But yes, you get to have a triple camera configuration. Now, ranting aside, in terms of the design, I'd give this a win. They did a lot of good things, making it a lot more flat, giving it a more premium feel, but there are some misses, particularly the IR blaster. But in a general sense, this is a well-designed product. So now let's talk about the display. The display on the Redmi 13C is a 6.74-inch IPS LCD panel with a resolution of 720 by 1600 pixels that can go up to 450 nits peak brightness and has support for a 90Hz high refresh rate. Now, two things when it comes to the 90Hz refresh rate. Now, if you wind the clocks back a few years ago, in order for you to get a smartphone that has a 90Hz refresh rate, you had to spend around 20 to 30,000 pesos or more. It's nice to see that a budget smartphone at less than 6,000 pesos comes with a 90Hz refresh rate. However, for me, this is a bit misleading because it does give you that 90Hz refresh rate feels when you're moving around the user interface, checking out the app drawer, checking out the settings. Most actions is going to feel buttery smooth. The real problem is when you start using the actual phone, launching applications, switching applications, the works. This is where you will see the biggest flaw of the Redmi 13C, and that is the chip inside this device, as this is released years ago. This is a dated processor which is also found in previous smartphones from Xiaomi and Poco. As a matter of fact, if you go to gsmarena.com right now and you check out the phone finder feature from that website and filter in the chipset and the brand, you will see there that Xiaomi has actually released 7 smartphones dating back 2020 using the exact same chip. This is something that needs to be addressed by Xiaomi, and they should really stop using dated chips on newer models just to gain revenue because it has a different shell. It just doesn't make sense anymore. We're now seeing newer smartphones being released that comes with additional features and bonus perks and yet we're still stuck with using dated chips on entry-level smartphones. Think about the consumers. It just doesn't make sense. It's just not fair. Now, I'm not saying that the MediaTek Helio G85 is a bad processor. It's just not up to date. You still get to have a decent performing smartphone. You can still do day-to-day tasks. You can multitask and all that stuff. But as soon as you start shifting to more demanding tasks like gaming or photography, you're going to feel the hit of having to use an entry-level smartphone with a dated processor. Now, going back to the display, I wouldn't say that this is the best viewing experience, but if you're tight on the budget, it's good enough. Colors are a bit muted, less saturated, but at the same time, it doesn't actually sacrifice too much on the overall quality. Now, as far as gaming is concerned, again, this goes back to the main issue, which is the chipset. This is a Helio G85, and for those of you who are not aware, G in the G85 actually means gaming. It's designed for gaming. So when this was released 3 years ago, provided that it has received software updates and firmware updates, it was actually playable. You're able to play games easy, not in the highest graphical setting, but easy. Here is an example of Ragnarok X. This is actually not a very graphic intense game, and yet you can see on the footage where the graphic renders is okay, but it does feel a bit choppy and laggy at the same time. This, however, in my opinion, I think is dependent on the game's optimization with the Helio G85 processor. If I were to play games like Mobile Legends, no problem, easy peasy. Call of Duty Mobile, I have to be at the lowest possible setting just to enjoy the game. With games like MMORPGs, however, it's going to be a bit of a hit or miss, and a lot of factors needs to be considered, particularly the game itself, your internet connection, and the setting. Now, as far as photography is concerned, again, if you're tight on the budget, the Redmi 13C is okay. Although it doesn't come with the fancy camera features and tricks that you would often see with higher end models, for the most part, you can get away with taking really good photos with the Redmi 13C, provided that you are standing still or you're literally just using this for still imagery. So in summary and in a nutshell, the Redmi 13C does come with some substantial upgrades over the Redmi 9C that I reviewed 3 years ago. However, because of that dated chip, it makes this product relatively a hard sell. Of course, this is just my honest opinion about the Redmi 13C. If you're tight on the budget and you just need a new smartphone to do smartphone stuff, then sure, why not? Go ahead. I'll drop the links in the description on where you can get this for the best price. But if you have the capacity to increase that budget, Android is a vast market and there are a lot of brands out there providing budget-friendly offerings that can provide more value for your money. And that's basically it for this quick review video of the Redmi 13C. Let me know what you think about the Redmi 13C in the comment section down below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Consider subscribing to the channel for more tech reviews and unboxing videos. Thanks again for watching. This is Chris once again from Crisis Point, and I'll catch you on the next.
Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me.